Whose crisis is this COVID-19 pandemic? Is it mine? Is it ours? Although COVID-19 is a health issue, the crisis is far more than a health crisis. It's a social and cultural one that is currently poorly understood and minimally represented by the vast majority of those suffering from it. Immediate cultural production, critical commentary, and public policy are being showcased and circulated globally. This may prove to be the most documented pandemic in history. But the dominant discourses are generated in the global north, by people like me, by a minority of privileged authors reflecting on a crisis that, while impacting the whole world, is experienced in vastly different ways. This project strives towards a rebalance, a glimpse of the plurality of our globe and our experiences of this time. The Whose Crisis project is an urgent response to the rapidly evolving global pandemic, whereby the leadership is coming from spaces far removed from the realities of suffering and change that this pandemic is causing. The project is co-curating representations and developing understandings of the social and the cultural crisis and shifts generated by the COVID-19 pandemic in plural and marginalized communities. The project is exposing unseen and misunderstood aspects of this time.
COVID-19 has made me realize how connected we are as a globe, and that each of us is safe only if all of us are safe. So really we need to look at how to make the world more equitable, more just, and more empathetic.
COVID-19 pandemic came with untold hardship, not just only for the economy, but for the family, for the youth especially, those that depend on making money on a daily basis to get by.
Religious people, members of churches, going to their pastors to beg for food.
For instance, our neighbors came to our house asking that, oh, please, can we help out whatever it is that we can give to them? Whatever food, whatever amount of money we could give to them just for them to survive.
So it has turned many people to become beggars. It has turned people to become, let me say, helpless. And there are many terrible things, many shenanigans that people are committing because of this terrible pandemic.
The number of girls who've ended up getting pregnant when they were out of school. We're hearing about increases in violence against women and girls, increased mental health challenges.
The COVID-19 pandemic has caused unprecedented economic impacts for both business owners as well as the working class in Malawi.
The secondary impacts of COVID in Malawi have been huge. The economic impact, particularly on sectors like tourism, where loads and loads of people are out of work.
They had to, some of them had to ask those of us that had supplementary income and steady source of income to be able to survive the gripping part of COVID-19 pandemic, especially during the lockdown.
Important and relevant events and functions have been and are being cancelled in order to protect one another from the virus.
Previously, it was medics who were known for face masks, but today it is for everyone as a preventive measure towards coronavirus infection. However, schools and institutions were closed down, as well as churches.
We have a situation on our hands caused by COVID-19. The means of protection include at every entry point temperature check, sanitization, and mask wearing. Indeed, a new culture of COVID-19, a crisis.
The reality of a human race living a normal life and that a large group of people can be gathered and celebrate during their social and cultural functions like dances and traditional ceremonies, this reality has been diverted as COVID-19 pandemic has negatively affected our lives.
What concerns me is that I really can't quite visualise what the end of this crisis actually looks like. But this crisis has also brought a lived experience to the staff and students at universities, affording us the opportunities to reimagine career pathways with much greater relevance to the real world.
And I miss that human connection, the social connections. But it has taught me a lot of lessons and made me think deeper about life.
Irúfẹ́ rí ìdojúkọ ńlá, ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ má lè gbàgbé tó kọ́ wa wípé ìlera ẹnìkan ìlera gbogbo wa ni. Àìlera ẹnìkan pẹ̀lú àìlera gbogbo wa ni. Ó sì kọ́ wa wípé gbogbo wa a nílò láti ṣera wa ní òṣùṣù ọwọ̀ fún àǹfààní ayé.